Hey, everyone, and welcome back to season 3 of Real Talk with Homes for Heroes. I am so excited for today's show. As you guys know, every single week we are interviewing top real estate and mortgage specialists in the nation that are willing to share their secrets behind success right here on Real Talk. Super excited to kick off this 2021 year with episode 72 for ourselves. As you can see, I am joined already by my guest, Phil Giampietro out of Connecticut. He is an amazing top affiliate of ours here at Homes for Heroes. He's closed over 60 hero transactions in just a short 2.5 years and given back well over 100,000 in hero rewards to some incredibly deserving heroes in his local market area. And Phil, you're a hero yourself, correct?
Well, I never really called myself a hero, but yeah, I'm a retired police officer. I did 25 years in law enforcement.
Yeah, just amazing story. We were just chatting before the show started. So I am super excited. Welcome to Real Talk with Homes for Heroes. I appreciate you spending some time with us. For those of you that don't know, a couple quick housekeeping things here. I'm your host, clearly, Abby Waltz, National Director at Homes for Heroes. We are coming to you live on Facebook as well as on YouTube now, changing it up a little bit for you guys. So if you've got any questions for our guest or anything that really resonates with you throughout the show, please feel free to go ahead and drop it in the comments wherever you may be watching it, whether you're with us live in our audience or if you are coming and watching us recorded. We would love to hear your feedback for sure. So keep those coming in. Phil, I'm going to let you do the honors. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into real estate and what's your career look like currently?
Well, it was an interesting entrance. I was getting toward the end of my police career, and my youngest son, Brian, was looking for to purchase a condo, and one of the officers on my shifts was a real estate agent. So I reached out to him to help us, and I got intimately involved in the process. And it was interesting, and I knew it was something I could do. And me being me, I started real estate school, and I had my license within 6 weeks because that's what I do. So I started doing this part time for about a year and a half. Then I retired, and I went into full time. And my business has gotten bigger every year. And honestly, Homes for Heroes is part of that.
Wonderful. Well, I certainly love hearing that. Now, tell me a little bit about before you got into real estate, because I think we all have kind of those stories of we just fell into the business. At least that's my backstory too for real estate. How long were you in law enforcement, and what did that career look like before you switched over to being an agent?
Well, I had a little entryway into police work. I worked for the town that I live in, public works department, and I always wanted to be a cop actually, but I had to fulfill a couple of requirements that they no longer have. There was police experience or college, and I needed a combination of both to get in. So I started off as an auxiliary police officer and assistant canine officer, and then I got a job as a police dispatcher. From dispatching, I was hired as a police officer in 1986 and retired in 2011.
Okay. Long career
Yeah.
back there, I'm sure. Well, talk to me a little bit about over the years, because you've been in real estate for almost 10 years now, and I'm sure you've learned some lessons. We tend to learn our lessons the hard way in this business. What have you picked up that's helped you kind of grow your business over the years from 10 years ago to now?
Communication is huge. You really need to communicate with people. They really want to talk to you. They really want to hear from you. Don't really want to wait around. Quick communication is always good. And a lot of caring needs to be involved. As far as I'm concerned, every deal is the same deal. Every deal is important. Every deal is important to the buyer. Every important deal is important to the seller. So I try to keep everything really on an upward momentum as much as I can.
Yeah, communication is absolutely key for sure. I think I learned that early on in my career as an agent as well, with just sometimes the lack of communication can cause concerns that pop up because people just don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We all get we go through HGTVU, as I call it, right? And we all think we're experts in the industry just having to watch the 30-minute shows of the deals, and there's so much more that goes on behind it. Keeping them in the loop is really imperative for sure.
Sometimes just a call to say hello is big.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, you've built your business, excuse me, to a great point. I think you helped, I want to say it was like 37 or 38 heroes specifically last year for us. What do you feel has been your driving force for your success with Homes for Heroes?
Well, driving force. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with my own thought process. Even as a police officer, I always like giving back. And again, my 25 years in law enforcement, I dealt with most of the heroes that are involved with Homes for Heroes, because as a police officer, you're in the schools, you're in hospitals, and you deal with a lot of different first responders. So I know from my experience, and I know from knowing them that, when they walk out of the building at the end of the day, they really don't leave work. Work's on top of them all the time. And they're always giving, their phone rings in the middle of the night. You have to get up, you have to go to work. You deal with horrible things, and, Homes for Heroes gives me the avenue to give something back to them.
Yeah, just firsthand just how much they have to sacrifice for their service that they choose to do every day for sure.
Yeah, I did the bulk of my career in accident investigation, so I dealt with a lot of unfortunate tragedies. And again, like with all that, I was in the hospitals a lot and dealing with the other first responders who had to maybe be involved with the incident that we were investigating.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, just amazing. So what have you put in place today to help your business grow to where it is? Do you have systems? Do you have processes that you follow?
Well, this the pandemic has certainly changed the way we work for sure. What I did in 2019 is not what I did in 2020. In 2019, I was really hitting the streets and talking up the program as much as I can. But 2020 kind of put it more in a social media, email, phone call type of campaign. But I do my best to keep Homes for Heroes right at the tip of my tongue all the time. Anytime we send out a postcard or a mailing, or my social media person is always putting something out there on Homes for Heroes. I actually have a I have a CRM with about 4,000 or so people in it, and they've all gotten a mailing uh, letting them know about the Homes for Heroes program and what it entails. A lot of me has to do with my past work as a police officer, because I know a lot of police officers, I know a lot of firemen, etc. Also, I have school teachers. My oldest son is a school teacher. His wife's a school teacher. My wife worked in healthcare, so I do have a good sphere where I can get the information out there. But again, 2020 did change things a little bit. I should say a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's caused us to really adapt and adjust for sure what we were doing before, but I'm sure there's probably the same thing that carried through before from 2019 to 2020 with you, which is that communication. You're just communicating differently. Would you say that's probably accurate?
Yeah, we're 2019. I have the Homes for Heroes bifold brochure. I would go around and drop those off and speak to people about the program, but we don't do that anymore. So again, it's mostly the phone, social media, and the emailing right now. But I do promote at every opportunity I have. The hardest part about the program is getting it out there and having people believe that it's true, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's not true.
Yeah, definitely. How do you combat that objection? Because that's something that comes up a lot. Our heroes tend to be extremely skeptical, and they've got their guard up, rightfully so, because of their jobs. How do you overcome the objection of it's too good to be true, or I just don't believe you because it's new and I haven't had an experience with you yet?
Well, I have enough close transactions with Homes for Heroes that I think I have a resume now where people really understand and believe it. I, I I believe that if any person wanted to speak to one of my clients or several of my clients to see how the program worked for them, they'd be happy to take the call. My clients have been very good about doing reviews of my service and mentioning Homes for Heroes. So I think they can go and do their own due diligence and read these reviews, or I'm happy to give them some names and phone numbers to call to just kind of solidify what I've been promoting.
So you're using your past clients, probably both heroes and non-heroes, to really be validators for you
Yeah.
and for the program.
Yes, exactly.
Let's go down that review path because I think this is so important. We live in an age of reviews. I don't go to a restaurant or make a restaurant choice without going to Yelp and seeing how they're rated. Same for agents. How are you getting your reviews? Are you asking them up front for it? Are you sending them links afterwards? How are you getting your reviews?
It's a good question. I had to make a decision. I changed things as I've gone along. I used to try to have people do reviews on all you mentioned, Yelp, Google, whatever. Then I found out I really had to decide where I'm going to ask people to do a review, because if I ask too many things, I'm probably not going to get anything. So I decided to just focus on Zillow. It seems to be one of the major platforms out there. People like to look for houses and look up agents and all. So at closing or shortly thereafter, I do ask them to do a review of my service, and I do send them a link to do that review. So right now I have like 230 Zillow reviews, and there's a lot of them in there that mention Homes for Heroes. So I think that helps. This way people they can go home, they can read my reviews, they can say, hey, this guy has, you know, 20 different people that use the Home for Heroes program. Can't say enough good about it. So I mean, that's what I'm doing. It works for me, and I think it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so important not to spread yourself too thin, and that's in any business or any approach within, especially real estate, for sure. And having that laser focused, direct approach of just asking them for a review on one site is really super smart of you.
Well, it's like anything, everybody's so busy. And I just feel if I ask them to do multiple things, my results probably not going to be any. So that's what I decided to do, and I feel it's working.
Clearly, because you're
Mhm.
helping so many heroes for sure. It's definitely
I'm happy
working.
to do it. Trust me, I really am happy to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. For those of you that are still joining us, please feel free to drop your comments. We'll go ahead and answer them during the show for you for sure. And then if you're watching the recording, we will certainly keep an eye on them and answer them after the show for you as well. So if you've got any questions for Phil or myself, please feel free and go ahead and type those in the comments. Um, Phil, you talked about your CRM, right? I am a huge proponent of having systems and processes built in so that you can scale and so that you can grow. It's just how that happens. So talk to me about what your CRM looks like and what you've been able to build it to currently.
Well, it's had a few bob and weaves over the years, trust me. And again, as you know, there's so many CRMs out there, you don't know where to go. So our company does offer one. I work for Coldwell Banker Realty, and I decided that was the one to focus on. And again, because of the pandemic, I decided to bring on a very excellent assistant who's monitoring my CRM, and it's my lifelong love of my life, soulmate, my wife.
Aw.
She is. We've been together since high school, so she is monitoring that, and she keeps it up to date and makes sure everything stays in order. Because if you don't keep that stuff in order, it'll just fall back. And I have probably 4,000 plus people in there right now. So
So are you
that is a daily thing. Going into the CRM is a daily thing for us. I mean, sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's 2 hours.
Are you using it for like email drip campaigns? Are you using it to direct who you're going to call that specific day? How are you utilizing it?
Drip campaigns mostly. I, as far as the calling, that is something I need to get a little bit better at, quite honestly. I would like to say that, I dedicate X amount of time a day to calling, but it's really, really hard. I'm finding this business every year, it's like you can't have a schedule in front of you because the schedule changes. So,
Yeah, bob and weave and adapt. That's been the theme
yep,
of 2020 for sure.
a little bit
Oh,
of triage in the middle there.
yeah, yeah, definitely. How about social media? You mentioned I was scrolling through your social media page earlier, which, by the way, I need to get you a brand new check because you've used it so much. I can see just the blue marks from marking it up so much. But you've been using social media a ton and you are a regular poster. Are you doing that yourself or do you have somebody helping you with that?
I actually have a social media person. I know you don't know me, but I do keep my circle of people very, very close to me. And my brother-in-law is actually he's handling my social media, so that's something that he does every day to keep everything fresh. I did. It'd be impossible for me to do all these things and be a real estate agent. It doesn't work.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, hire for where you need help for sure.
He- he's I feel he's very good at it. I have good comments on it. You just made me aware that you are seeing it, so here we go.
Yeah, yeah, he does a great job for sure.
Mhm.
For you personally, is it just are you a solo agent or do you have besides your wife and your brother-in-law that are helping you with the CRM and with social, is there anybody else a part of your team?
I don't have a team per se. I do have agents that work alongside of me, but are also running their own business. So I have about three other agents. We're not a team, we're not a group, but we do have this arrangement. On both sides of it. This way, if there's a conflict, we can make sure it's taken, the client's taken care of.
Yeah, definitely. Smart. Um, what else can I add? Oh, what's been a game changer for you? It's been a decade in this industry, which I'm sure the time just flew by. I'm sure your business didn't look the same as it did today as it did when you first started. So, do you have any game changers that have really helped you grow?
To help me grow. I think what helped me grow is experience, honestly, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I went from starting off my first year, maybe having, you know, a handful of closings, and every year it just grew bigger. And, this year I nearly hit 90 in 2020. And I think it's just been growing, and the experience, it just makes things move along and fall into place and get to that positive closing.
Where are you getting a majority of your business? Is it from past clients and referrals?
It's a good mixture, honestly. There's some referral sources out there. I get some from Homes for Heroes and past clients, and people finding me. If they find me, generally it's because they were looking around on Zillow and they saw my reviews. But I have a lot of word of mouth because I I've done enough business now, and I've had repeat clients, and I'm trying to keep contact with them. So I think people, mention my name a lot too, and I can see that by the social media responses when things go out there, so people are reading it. So I just think now, I've established myself to the point where people know me and know what I do, and do reach out if they're in need of my services.
Yeah, that's great. For the social channels that you mentioned, is it primarily Facebook or are you on other platforms?
Um, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, about all of them that are out there. My brother-in-law's taking care of.
Wow, that's impressive. You've got all of them. When are we going to see Phil on TikTok or Snapchat? Anytime soon?
If I should do it, I'll do it. Every telling me to do it, we'll do it, whatever it takes.
You heard it here first, you guys.
Okay,
Keep your
okay,
eyes peeled for that.
all right.
Oh, too
I try to
funny.
do a lot with well, if you're watching my postings, I'm trying to do a lot more with daily photos. Wherever I might be, I do get a lot of good response on that. People know I'm out and about, but it's something I've been trying to do more of, and I think that also works.
Yeah. So you're getting more engagement with that as opposed to going like business related posts.
Yeah, I do think that. I mean, I do miss the days where we hung out in the coffee shop and talked to people. Trust me, I miss that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. So what do you have on the horizon around the plans for 2021 to help you continue to grow?
I'm going to follow the course. I'm maintaining the course. You know, um, I'm not going to do anything different. Just do more of it.
Perfect. What are you planning on doing more of? We know phone calls for sure and conversations, but what else you got planned?
Well, my cousin is a 20-year veteran in the Connecticut National Guard, and he's making an arrangement for me to speak at the Armory here in Connecticut to the men and women involved there. So I'm gonna work on that and see how that goes this year. I'd love to get into the police departments. I only need 10 minutes, but they're not really doing meetings anymore. So all this is kind of hard. So I know I mentioned by this fly by the seat of my pants, and I really do at times with all this stuff. If I see an avenue and I can do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, sometimes that approach is fantastic. It does help you, like we talked about, adapting quickly. It
Mhm.
also helps you if you don't have a solid set plan. It helps you see opportunities like the armory visit for sure. That'll be a great opportunity for you.
I'm, I'm looking forward to it. I feel it's going to happen. So when I'm not 100% sure, but I feel it's going to happen, and that will grow. I know that will grow because there's a lot of people up there, involved, and it only takes one. It just takes one to be in the market, and then it'll grow to two and three and keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Wise words spoken here. It only takes one.
One. It really does only take one, and the Homes for Heroes program is really I'm enjoying doing it. Honestly, I'm enjoying it. This is the only thing I've ever seen in real estate where I can actually give back to my clients. There's I haven't seen anything. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of referral sources out there, but you pay for leads is what you do. You're not giving anything back to the client. And this way, I give something back to them, and that check or that reduction in commission, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference for sure.
A short story, I had an Army veteran looking to buy a house here in the town I live in, and he was really coming in light. I mean, it was close whether this thing was going to happen or not. The $2,000 he got back from Homes for Heroes, that was the difference in closing or not. That is a true story. He was that close, and once they figured that into the equation, they made it happen, and we successfully closed. That was a year ago. That is a true
Wow.
story.
That's awesome. Positively impacting the lives of your clients in so many different ways and helping them achieve their dreams of home ownership for sure. That's great.
My daughter-in-law and my son, as I mentioned, are both school teachers. They've been helping spread the word as well with their colleagues.
Good. Good, good. It's helpful to have people who already have those relationships built with, right, heroes for us, of course, but to be kind of your walking billboards and help you spread the word. Those are the key.
No, definitely. I've worked with them all. Doctors, nurses, police, fire, EMS. I've had them all at this point, and I know they spread the word, so that this all helps. I feel it's going to keep growing, for sure. I mean, every year it's gotten bigger. And 2020 was a banner year, and I'm hoping 2021 is going to pass it by. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. 2021 was a banner year for many people who stuck with it and adapted through COVID. The real estate industry was just on fire.
It was unbelievable. When the middle of March, which was I put the kettle. It's my birthday. It was like right on my birthday. It's like we shut down. It's like I stepped back and I said, I mean, is this over? Did this just end? What we all we did just end? And I myself was trying to think. Okay, well, I have to do something. I have to pull back here. There's a lot of marketing and things going to go on here if the business is shut down. And within 4 weeks, it is like somebody turned the water on all the way, hot. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely crazy. And I know both agents, brokers, and loan officers were feeling that too, because the mortgage industry was insane last year.
Definitely. But the biggest hurdle that I find is getting the program out there and having people believe that it's real. That makes sense.
Mhm.
That's been the hardest part because as you probably know, your phone rings, somebody's trying to sell you a car warranty. It's we're not doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've been successful by just working with those that know you and liked and trust you already with your past experience in law enforcement and your other hero networks and spheres that you've got within your own sphere of influence, which I think is so wise and so smart to just work with those that want to work with you and that already know you to start somewhere. It just takes one and then just keep going and persisting. And you've certainly done a fantastic job of that for sure.
Thank you very much. And again, I do enjoy doing it. I wholeheartedly enjoy doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So
Good, as you should. Well, I've got 3 rapid fire questions that I'm gonna get to. And
good.
you
Remember, I told
ready?
you I'm not prepared for this at all.
Before I jump into that, though, do you have anything else that you wanted to share at all today?
Nothing at all. I did want to share that about the Army veteran there in his house. I mean, it did make a difference. There was one other nice story. I got a phone call. I did a deal with a girl in the medical field, a very young girl. She's buying her first home. Again, things are tight, even though they have good jobs. I mean, with the student loans and all that other going on. And she called me up about 10 days after the closing, and the Homes for Heroes check was nearly identical to their first month mortgage. It was like they got the first month free.
Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah,
that. That's
that's
so
great.
great.
Yep.
Oh, what a great way to be able to help your clients, like I
Yeah.
said, get into their
Uh-huh.
to their homes and give back to them too for all that they do. So, mm, those stories make all the difference for sure. All right, you ready for this?
I don't know. We'll see.
You'll be just
Don't see
fine.
me anymore. I ran away.
Yeah. Okay, first questions first. Thinking back, if you could go back when you first got into this business, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
I'll roll back onto what I said. Communication, definitely number one. Hard work. There's you may have to knock on 100 doors to get one to open. Just be persistent. It'll happen. I followed a system with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I followed the system that my manager laid out, and everything that we worked hard for is happening because things are getting bigger and bigger every year. I think you just have to keep following, maintaining the course, and work really hard and communicate really well.
Yeah. Simple but effective for sure.
But you have to have the commitment. You have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm a huge bookworm. Huge bookworm. If you're not, maybe you've got a podcast, but what's one of your favorite books?
Wrong guy. Sorry, I'm not a reader. I really am not. Not at all. I wish I could engage in that. I can't stay focused.
Hey, know your strengths, man. That's smart.
I'm not going to make up a story for you. I'm just not a book reader.
Oh, too funny. Do you have this is total tangent because I'm just going out of left field here. I've been on like this huge routine, kind of a daily type routine fix, if you will, lately, and just learning what people like to do either in the morning or if they've got a routine of how they like to end their day. Do you have something that you do every single day that you feel is helpful for you?
You're gonna think I'm crazy. You ready?
I'm ready.
I get up at 4 a.m.
Really?
Get up at 4 a.m. and I get on the computer and I'm fired up at that time. I get a ton of work done. I answer emails. I have any paperwork lingering. I get it done. And after that, I have a 90-year-old father. I go over his house and get him going for the day. That's my routine every day. And if the weather's nice, I walk to his house to get a little exercise. But right now, it's not. He's about 2 miles away. But that is my daily routine. The problem about 4 a.m. is at 8 o'clock at night it's late.
Oh, that's okay.
I,
Nothing good
I
happens
do
after
get
8
get him
anyways.
early. It's quiet. There's no text messages coming in. The phone's not ringing. But that's my routine every day, and it gets me started.
Good. You know what? Hey, from from things that I've studied for sure, knowing when you're super highly productive, 80% of the people are highly productive in the morning. So having that quiet time at 4 a.m. when no one's texting or calling you is probably your super high productive, highly efficient time that you
Definitely,
can get a lot done.
definitely. And you know that stuff that you keep pushing off and not really don't want to do it right now. Well, I get it done in the morning. I get it done quickly. There's no distractions, and it's over, and I can put it aside.
Perfect. 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 And then last but not least, this is an easy one, hopefully. We've all spent time in our houses more so than we probably ever wanted to this past year. What has become your favorite room in your house?
Well, the room I'm sitting in is the room. Our family room here, as you can probably see my dog here somewhere, my beagle. No, he hangs out with me here, and I'm here on the computer where you're working and making phone calls and so on and so forth. So this has become my home office.
Hey, it's perfect.
Mm.
And please tell your wife thank you for all that she does to help you serve even more heroes. That's amazing to be able to have somebody that's your spouse and work with you at the same time.
Yeah, it's it's interesting, and she's not a real estate agent, but she's learning the business herself, and just having that done is amazing. That I can put that out of my mind. We get people into their campaigns, and you know do our follow ups through there, and people communicate through that as well. So I don't miss it. Hey, somebody wants you to call about 123 Main Street. Boom, I have it. This way, I don't miss it.
Yeah, that's fantastic to have those helpers, and I know that's going to take you to the next level too. So I can't wait to see how many heroes you're able to thank this year with us.
The more the merrier. I just had one last week, and they're getting a check back for like $4,000. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's just
yeah,
incredible.
that's fun.
Very cool. Well, Phil, thank you so much for being on the show today.
That's it.
First
Yeah.
one of 2021. That's it. It's painless, right?
I'm not sure. I'm glad you didn't tell me it was the first one last week. Maybe I wouldn't have showed up.
Well, it's been great getting to know you a little bit better and learning your success strategies for sure. I appreciate the willingness to share and to help others grow their business as well. Stay the
Well,
course, you guys. It
like
just takes one for sure. So, thank you so much, Phil. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week for another live Real Talk with Homes for Heroes. Take care, everybody.
take care. Bye.